This is Joseph Heffernan, Fluffy Pennsylvania. What brought us to fight the Revolutionary War? Let's go back in American history. This country's forefathers sought a foreign land, rebelled, and declared their independence from King George III of England. Before they can declare independence from King George III of England, they had to secure another land. By having to secure another land, they took this land from the native born that lived there. Instead of seeking to come up with a treaty that would allow the existence between the native born and the foreigner, now called the United States of America. The United States government, led by President Donald Trump, treats the alien that lives among them with contempt and wants to drive them out of what they believe to be their foreign country. But they have failed to realize that their country had their very region. They had escaped the oppression of King of England, just like Israel's exodus out of the oppression of Pharaoh, King of Egypt. They have forgotten, or they do not want to acknowledge, that they have escaped their very own Egypt, not remembering that they were like them, the Mexicans, who have escaped the oppression of Mexico. This violates the commandment to love your neighbor yourself. We came out from under King George III and England ourselves. God's warning, Malachi 3 verse 5. Then I will draw near to you for judgment. I will be a swift witness against those who trust beside the alien. And do not fear me, says the Lord host. And from another translation, to deprive the alien among you of justice. Everybody has a need for deliverance from that oppression. God himself said he will be a swift witness against those who trust beside the alien. In this case, the so-called illegal alien. He said also that he will draw near to them for judgment those who deprive the alien. Exodus 12 verse 49. The same law applies both to the native born and to the foreigner alien lying among you. Exodus 22 verse 21. Do not mistreat or oppress the foreigner, the alien. Exodus 23 verse 9. Do not oppress the foreigner. You yourselves know how it feels to be foreigners, because you're foreigners region. In the United States case, in this country's past history, people were foreigners. To love your neighbor as yourself. This was commanded to Israel, but applies to everyone, even us today. Were you ever a stranger and was mistreated? You know how it feels, so do not mistreat others. These aliens were oppressed by their own government. The two commandments given by God on Mount Sinai, that summarizes all of his commandments, are in short to love thy God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. To love the neighbor as yourself. In the Gospel of Luke, the Gospel of Luke of the New Testament, Jesus gave an example of how we should treat our neighbor, found in Luke chapter 10, verse 25 to 27. Going back to the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 9 and 10, and verse 23 and 24, in those verses, the Lord referred to aliens that are particularly as not those as aliens, not illegal aliens. So God in the Old Testament, Jesus in the Gospels, referred to them as aliens, not illegal aliens. Jesus referred to himself as a stranger in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 21 through 46. And this is the example. It tells us that the way one treats his neighbor, stranger, is the way he sees himself being treated for them. One treats them basically with contempt. One does not provide for them who are hungry, thirsty, without clothing, without abundant need, without looking after them, when they are sick, not visiting them who are in prison. Jesus conducts. And to the one who does these things for the neighbor, stranger known is Jesus. Jesus sees the alien as someone who is in need. Besides, what I have on say is this. The United States is a reflection of President Donald Trump, and President Donald Trump is a reflection of the United States. The electoral college system is voted for in this, but you need to see who will elect each other. I'm not talking about the so-called illegal alien, but the citizen. You are both evil, you both need to change, so repent. And believe the gospel of Jesus Christ. The Bible says, I quote, by the mighty of God, 2 Samuel 1, verse 25. The United States has failed. President Donald Trump has proposed to and will do if he is successful, try and hide the innocent in along with those who have been convicted of a crime. It should be only for a federal crime, not a misdemeanor. and thrust them all out of the country together. This maneuver is right from the Danish playbook. What we see now is planning after July 4th to get rid of everyone, whether they committed a crime or not. Just be Mexico illegally. But God says they're not illegal. She says nothing's working, you should try something else. That's the devil. When it works, it does again and again. It doesn't work, try something else. During Donald Trump's run for president of the United States, he proclaimed that if he were president, he would send all 11 million of what he calls the Republicans call illegal aliens back to Mexico. To these people, that was like a terrible king with his army marching towards the land and proclaiming that he was going to bring them into captivity until they found tomorrow. It was like that to them. They feared this terrible king. What were they going to do? Love him? You think that they should not hate him? This terrible king, Donald Trump, that is, did again. Cindy Garcia, her husband, Jorge Garcia of Michigan, was deported and separated from his wife and children by ICE and sent back to Mexico in January 15, 2018. He came to the United States. He was only about 10 years old. He was innocent of wrongdoing. The only crime was that he is a so-called illegal alien. Another incident was when a mother and daughter seeking asylum from the Democratic Republic of the Continent of Africa in the United States were separated by the United States government. The mother was sent to California, and the daughter was sent to Chicago. They are not illegal, but God Almighty. They are not illegal before God Almighty. In 2017, the majority of those arrested were first convicted and charged for crime, though many of those crimes were low-level traffic offenses. Still, some were innocent of all of being in the country illegally. The number of non-criminal immigrants arrested in 2017 increased up to 15,600 compared to 5,198 in 2016. But he's going like Hitler and ICE to Nazis, ordering them to get rid of all illegal aliens, who they are claiming to be illegal. There have been plenty of migrant families coming into the United States seeking asylum at the United States border, seeing themselves separate from their children. Migrants seeking asylum at the border under the law are illegal, and President Donald Trump blaming the Democrats, parents being separated from their children. Jesus calls him even himself an alien and stranger on earth. But I have to add this. Hitler blamed the Jews for the economic and woes of Germany. Donald Trump taking that from his playbook, blaming the Mexicans for economic woes of the United States. Because the people have changed and not the only the people have changed. The evil is still the same. Still the same type of evil. Only the people and countries have changed. But if Jesus himself were in the United States today, he would be viewed as an illegal alien. He is the creator and owner of the law. Jesus, along with his Father, created the heavens and earth. And all that is in that. Man being the crown of all his creation. Government was created by God himself, for people's sake and for the benefit, not for man's detriment. He sets the rules and can set them aside. However, he does not set aside his moral laws. In the first epistle of Peter, chapter 2, verse 1 through 12, he talks to Christians and says, Beloved, I urge you, as aliens and strangers, to keep your behavior excellent in the land. For as long as they keep the law, they shall live in peace. But if inhabitants shall get jealous or have a dislike for you, or even want you out, Let that be ordained. Let that not be because you did something against the law, like murder, rape, or robbery for thee. Keep what is believed to be good behavior among the inhabitants. That is among the citizens. To keep yourselves above reproach, innocent of the law, and all they have against you is that you cross the border illegally. Then I will have something against you. For God in Malachi chapter 3, verse 5 says, Then I will kneel to you for judgment. I will be a swift witness against those thus decided the ill. Do not fear me, says the Lord first. If you are being mistreated and full of his evildoer, do not sin with your mouth. Continue to obey the law. Continue with your excellent behavior. For Proverbs 15 verse 1 tells us that gentle answer turns away wrath, but harsh words towards the anger. And James chapter 1 verse 19 and 20 says this, Everyone shall be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Because the anger of man does not accomplish the righteousness of God. God cannot come to your aid, because he's a God of righteousness and justice. In the following verse, James chapter 1 verse 21 says, Therefore be rid of all moral filth, and the evil that is so prevalent, and humbly accept the word plain, and you which can save you. He can save you from hungry and just men, from those who would want to cause harm to you. So get rid of all moral self and evil that so easily entangles you. Know yourselves under the mighty of God. God is opposed to the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Verse 22 of James chapter 1. Do not merely listen to the word, and so deceive yourself. Do what is right, keeping God's commandments is proof to the one. Jesus says in the Gospel of John, if you love me, keep my commandments. This is found in the Gospel of John chapter 15, verse 15. In John 15, 21 to 24, Jesus goes on to say, Whoever is my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me. The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love him and show myself to him. Anyone who loves me will obey my teaching. My Father will love them, and we will come to him, and will make our home with them. Everyone who does not love me will not obey my teaching. These words you hear are not my own, but one to the Father who sent me, to my Father who sent me. It also says in Exodus 20, verses 1 to 6, and God gave his 10 commandments to the people. It begins with, God spoke all these words, and the word of God, and put you out of Egypt, and never slavery. You have no other God before me. So not for yourself, make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above and earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. I, the Lord, God, the just God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents, the third and fourth generation of those who showing love to 1,000 generations of those who own the kingdom of heavens. We see in the Gospels of the New Testament, the giving of the 10 Commandments by God in the Old Testament. Exodus chapter 20. They are given again to the people in Deuteronomy chapter 10. The Lord God tells us, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. But those who do not love me will hate me, and those who do not keep my commandments. This is why I go back and forth from Old Testament to New Testament, New Testament to Old Testament. I do this to prove scripturally that this Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, God in the flesh. And I do this to show Jesus' words to be very words of God in the Testament, and that God's word is suggested today and forever. Hebrews 13, verse 8 brings it up. Excuse me. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is the same in the Gospels as he is in the Old Testament. He is the same today, forever. He is gracious, merciful, and kind. But he is just and the rewarder of righteousness. He is a hater of sin against those who are proud and holy. He is against those who are self-righteous. When God's people Israel was delivered from slavery in Egypt, they were led by God with the reverence. They camped there and rested in the kingdom. When it was time to enter the land, they had to cross first the Jordan River, and crossing there, they came upon the city with the walls of Jericho, where they had to go the northward. After defeating Jericho, they moved onto a nation called Ai. From there, they had to fight more wars throughout the land kingdom. This land was the promised land of God that was given to their father Abraham and Isaac and then to Jacob. They had to travel through many borders to receive their land. I say this in light of the Mexicans who have crossed the border to the United States. God allowed the Israelites to cross borders to escape oppression from Egypt. There was no violation that made them illegal aliens and not God. God understands why one may want to escape oppression. So without this, obviously, he sanctioned this commandments. God allows escape from oppression or slavery. He is the God of compassion. People escape from Mexican oppression. In the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 7 to 8, Jesus said to his disciples, this was after his resurrection. He said to them, it is not for you to know the times or dates the Father has set by his own authority. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you. And you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, and in Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. Jesus said himself, if he was persecuted, so you also. They were. As his disciples scattered from persecution, they left Jerusalem. They went into Judea, then Samaria, and all the nations throughout to the ends of the earth, preaching the gospel as they They obviously crossed borders that would take them to Judea, then Samaria, and then to the ends of the earth. There, wherever they went, they settled and preached about Jesus the Savior, authority given to him by himself. Not himself. Gospel Matthew chapter 28, verse 18. Jesus came to his disciples and said, the authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to obey everything I command you to. I'm sure I am with you always, even to the very end of the age. God was with them as they scattered to the nations throughout the ends of the earth. Without their crossing the borders of many nations, so they could spread his glory throughout the earth. Today, the glory of the Lord Jesus Christ is known throughout the world. There were sojourners, foreigners, and aliens, wherever they went, none illegal in God's sight. Because Peter 4, verse 15, Peter says, if you suffer, should not be as a murderer, or a thief, or any other kind of criminal, or even as a meddler. You commit a crime such as murder, robbery, or rape, and you're not an official United States citizen, you can be subject to deportation immediately. But only if the one is tried in court is fairly righteously judged guilty. The troublesome meddler, however, is not a criminal of the federal government. Law authorities and the President of the United States do not criminal of the United States President. These two groups shall not be grouped together. Running a stop sign at a traffic light is not a federal offense, neither a DUI, but you will suffer for it. Under the law, in this case, treated as a newborn. Jesus, along with his Father, created the heavens and the earth, and all things in them. Creation of man is their crown of glory. Man is created to rule the earth and all that is in it. Genesis 1, 26 and 27. One last thought. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image and our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea, birds of the sky, and over livestock, and over all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that live along the ground. So God created mankind in his own image, and each of God had created him. Now the thing God created. And lastly, he also made man subject to government authority. This government authority is a reflection of the authority of God. This government authority is not for man's detriment, but for his benefit. It is not to be ruled by dictators or tyranny, but by God working through proper and good authorities. He sets the rules in place and can set a rule aside. Not his moral law, however. His moral laws set in God's word, the Bible, shall not change or be changed by man. He awards righteousness and goodness and punishes sin and evil. I will be back later around about 6:15, 6:30. And again, I'll speak to you again. This is Joseph Sackman of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. See you then.